What you on with
Probably a
today,
lot of
Joe?
drunken rubbish or whatever.
What am I on with today? Well, we're going to save this for recording because it's slightly amusing. I'm absolutely shite at DIY.
Duce.
What?
I think we are recording, aren't we, Gaz?
Yeah, it's recording.
All right. Do you know the corrugated sheets on your shed roof? Your corrugated plastic sheets.
Oh yeah.
I've lost one of them, so I'm gonna have to go and replace that immediately after this call.
How big is it?
How big is it?
Yeah.
Do you think I've measured it?
Yeah,
How do you lose
It's about that
a
big.
6-foot piece of plastic?
Well, when I say lost, I mean it's come off in the weather.
Oh, right, okay.
It's not working.
And
I haven't misplaced it.
Anyway, I've just been searching around to why my video's not working.
Go on.
The little thing with the slot was across on top.
Nicky and Charlie, Frank and Stan got stuck in a waterloo. Charlie tossed one in the air and Frankie followed through.
Anyway, everyone, welcome to the Housecast. I'm not sure how much of the introduction we'll leave in, but correctly, that was challenging. We haven't been on for a while, so we've decided that we've got to do the Lowerhouse draw. So we're doing that. It's a Saturday morning, believe it or not, and we've got some volunteers to come on. So Gary and Duce are coming on to assist me with this recording, hoping it does record. So thanks very much, you two, for giving up a few hours of your Saturday morning. And I know, Duce, you will probably want it to go on all day because of your job you've got. Just talk us through what you're doing after this.
I've got to go to B&Q and buy one of those corrugated plastic sheets, and then I've got to fit said corrugated plastic sheet to my shed roof, all of which will be an ordeal because I am shite at all that stuff.
So have you done any YouTube videos? Do you ever checked anything out? Or
no, I'm just going to go and buy it, and then I'm going to drill some holes in it, and then I'm going to hit some nails into it. Is that good enough, Jez?
Not really.
No.
We record it.
Good idea, guys. Good idea. Holes in it. Water's going to get through those holes.
No, you can see. This is why I'm one step ahead of you, Jez. You can buy like these nails that have got like plastic caps on them that fit snug to the sheet.
Brilliant.
You never said that, Joe.
No, you
Say again, Grace.
You never said that.
Did I not? Sorry.
Anyway, get Rachel to just record just 5 or 10 minutes of it for us, please. It'll be good, that.
I might send you
a bit of clear sealant as well.
Sealant? Oh, fucking hell, I haven't got any of that. I'll send you a picture of the finished job.
Yeah, do that. But really good to see you again, Duce. Obviously, end of January now. Hope you've all had a good Christmas and New Year. And the listeners and Gary, thanks very much for dialing in, guys. How's things going?
Yeah, we're all right. Cheers.
Nice Christmas and New Year and all that?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we've got a mix of pretty busy and then enough quiet time just to sort of relax and chill and stuff. So looking forward to another new year. So get this weather out at way and crack on, I think.
Yeah, good. So today, as I've said, we're going to look at the 100 Club. Not the 100 Club, it's called the Lowerhouse Draw. We'll play the legendary game, guess the winner. But before we do that, we've got, I feel, a real special guest who's I've persuaded to come on. We've had a few discussions late at night about in Cricket Club, about the podcast and about the running of the Cricket Club. And this lad is quite an integral part, I feel, for the last few years of getting the club into the place that it's at now. So we welcome Paul Grace. How are you doing, Grace?
I'm all right, so thanks. Yeah.
Good.
Everything's tickety-boo. Yeah.
Good. You got on the Zoom call really easy. It didn't seem any issues for you?
Well, I did. It wouldn't work with laptop. I had daughter helping. So
Grace, this is all part of Jez's smoke and mirrors. You were trying to make you seem a lot more sort of savvy than you actually were there. But you just poo-pooed it.
Yeah, I'm not a techno person.
No, I can't speak, Grace. I think we've done about 160 of these podcasts, and I've missed recording about 20.
Yeah,
they've just disappeared. But no, it's really good to have you on, Paul. Paul Grace. I think we've known about each other for donkey's years. Bumping into each other in town or having a pint. A massive Burnley Football Club fan, and now down at the Cricket Club. I think it's fair to say, I don't want to embarrass you with it, but the work you do down there is really invaluable, and they're part of a very good management team, stroke committee that have got things going in a fantastic, the bar sales, the entertainment, everything is just thriving. It really is good. Before we go into that, Grace, just talk us through, your background around watching Burnley Football Club, around watching Lowerhouse, how far you go back, and just a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, regarding Lowerhouse, back in the day, me and my mate, Stephen Moss, who I think he used to play with Matt Hope down there briefly, we used to alternate on weekends between Lowerhouse and Burnley. But that's when Lowerhouse was on its backside, so to speak. So, yeah, and we invariably end up down at Burnley and then into town afterwards. But, yeah, the draw to come back to Lowerhouse eventually, I made that decision a few years ago. I'd been coming down on and off. And then I think it was around COVID time, just before, I'd made that decision to come down Lowerhouse. And it was a second 11 game. And I bumped into Paul Stanley. And to say it were a second 11 game, I think that day, I bet there were about 400 on it. We were an absolute red hot day.
All right, brilliant.
And I've since then, basically, I just go to whoever's playing at home, be it first, seconds, thirds and fourths, and just support who's, on the pitch, really. And, last season, there was some cracking games, thirds and fourths, 11s.
Yeah.
So, it's really enjoyable and it's a relaxed atmosphere. I just think it's brilliant for your mental health. Do you know what I mean? There's no pressure. Like, I go with Clarets home and away, but there's a pressure associated with that, and there's no pressure with cricket. It's nice and chilled, and it's just great. And a couple of my mates, they've ended up coming down, and they say the same thing. Yeah. Initially, they'd come down with me. Now they just rock up on their own, and they don't bat an eye because everybody's friendly, and they just get on with everybody. So
yeah, and I think going back to the start of that. Your conversation there, Grace, COVID was horrendous, horrendous for all of us.
Yeah.
But when you look at what's got out, certainly the cricket club thriving, that was a true time of being a community club when the restrictions were lifted. We got a lot of people coming down. Obviously, we were being daft on the podcast, and it seemed to just develop from there. So you've come down, as you've described. There's a lot of welcoming people there. There's no hassles off anyone. Anyone will chat to anyone, and certainly over a few pints. And you're a character in yourself. When did it become apparent to you that you wanted to help out with the organisational side of things, and how did that work?
Well, it's the usual thing. People sit there now, don't they? And everyone has their own ideas. And Frank asked me and Sam Smith to if we'd be interested in basically coming on the committee and helping with things. As in, at that time, this were typical Mark Whitehead, this. He threw a little hand grenade. We'd been going to quizzes up at the Iton, me, Mark, Mick and Sam. And Mark kept saying, oh, you should do a quiz down at Lowerhouse, Gracie. Anyhow, next thing, Sam had put me up, and lo and behold, between us both, me and Sam, we started doing the quizzes. And overall, they've been a very good success. So, it was Frank just approached me and said, would you be interested? I think Stan had given me the heads up as well. So, just happy to help in any shape, way or form. I think one of the things Frank said was, you've got contacts all over. So, do you know what I mean? They come in handy. Well, when you work for yourself, you get to know people, all over town and beyond town. So, yeah. But I enjoy it. It's a bit hard at times. It's frustrating. I wouldn't say hard in that when I want to do something, I get it done and I do it there and then. And it's infuriating, frustrating. Call it what you want. When you think of something down at the cricket club and it's met like with caution. I'd say caution more than anything, and it has to be, thoroughly thought out, and basically they have to watch the pennies still, don't they? We might be a thriving club, but we can't just start throwing money around willy-nilly, can we?
No,
we've got to prioritise certain things.
Of course we do. And I know you'll know all this, Gracie, but for yourself and for other listeners, certainly me and Gary remember the days where we didn't have anything and it was hardly anyone doing any of the jobs, and it was very, very difficult, and probably put quite a few players and spectators off.
Yeah.
But now it has started thriving, and now we are starting to get a few quid through because of the the gate receipts and the membership and the bar takings. We can do those extra things, but it's important you have the right people in place to do it and make those right decisions. And I think Matt Stanley runs it, quite regimental, and he's good at the way that he manages everyone else. Have you, is there any examples of, some of the projects you've undertaken that maybe you've had some objection to, or some funny stories about?
Well, there's the one. This is the one where I gained all the credence. All the credit in the bank with Stan. For months and months and months, there was a smell in the bar area, and Stan saying it's dishwasher, Gracie. Stan, it's not dishwasher.
Right.
It's
so
dishwasher.
There was a horrible smell, Gracie. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a horrible smell. Culminating in one of the either Euros or World Cup games, and there's loads of builders in the room. There were me and Tony Woodworth and a few others, and some builders there, and they're all saying that's not the dishwasher. These are builders. Stan being Stan. I love throwing hand grenades at him, by the way. Stan being Stan just carried on saying it's the dishwasher. So one day I just took it upon myself. I went down. I dug all drains out round back. First one I did, cleared it out. Stan said, yeah, that'll be right. I said, no, I'll do them all, Stan. Oh, you don't have to bother. Anyhow, dug them all out. And I said, it's still there, that smell. No, it didn't. It's not. Anyhow, it transpired. It was the outlet in the gents' toilet. So we got somebody in, did a temporary repair. It cured it overnight. Anyhow, hence we ended up getting a new toilet basin. So that's how I ended up getting credit with Stan, because I sorted out the smell and the toilet issue, but it was unbearable at the time.
I know, I do remember. Yeah, you couldn't stand anywhere near it. Really, it was an issue. Has he accepted that he was wrong, that it wasn't the dishwasher?
Well, yeah,
in the dishwasher.
Yeah. He actually said, "I'll show my backside on that one, Gracie. You were right." So that was rare in itself, wasn't it?
It was.
Should have come down in the 90s.
Yeah.
Smell were there then.
Well, yeah.
And with no dishwasher
to work on it
until Maureen Stansfield came in on Monday morning to tidy up.
Yeah. Going back to what you said earlier there, Jez, about volunteers, people don't realise, I don't think, how many volunteers actually do things behind the scenes down there. From like strimming between the benches and doing the flower beds, and people just with good hearts who just come down and pass the time of day. And I'm sure there's other clubs don't have anywhere near the amount of help that we get down there.
I'm going to come on to Duce in a minute, just around, because if you wrote a list of the various jobs that are done, and a lot of the people, they don't want any credit for it. They don't want even to be acknowledged that they're doing it. Like you said, with the gardening and everything. And again, Gary's done it, been there. I've done it, been there. But Duce's now spent a lot of time with the cricket side of it, and I think looking at the outside, it works really well. We have the cricket section, the junior section, the committee. We have the organisational of the events, and then the bar staff and everything. How have you, Duce? You are obviously considerably younger than me and Gary. How have you seen it over the last 10 years or so? Not just because Gracie's come in, but the change for you Rugrats, so you 7 or 8 of you who.
Well, I think we are very fortunate, and I don't think it's luck, but we do, like Gracie said, we do have a large roster of volunteers, and I know clubs like ours sort of live and die by the volunteers, don't they? Because they haven't got money to pay people to do stuff. But I do think when I go to other clubs, I don't see the same level of sort of the army of volunteers that Lowerhouse have, and I don't quite know how we've sort of engineered that, but it's great to see. And all you have to do is come down at any time, but there are a few standouts, and we've mentioned it before, like the bonfire. When you go down on the bonfire, either on the event itself or in the week leading up, and there's literally loads of people who are just giving up the time for free, just so the club can host event, and it really, I don't want to sound soppy, but it really is heartwarming to see. Just going on to the committee point, we were, before Gracie and Sam came on board, we were lacking in diversity quite a lot, and I don't mean that in terms of the usual meaning of that word. What I mean is we're all ex-players. Everybody on the committee except for Waddo, before Sam and Gracie came on, have all been at the club for donkey's years. We all used to play. We all look at it through the same lens. And I think that's probably where some of Paul's frustrations come in, because we're all set in our ways on that committee, and we all think that we know that the best way to do stuff, because we're all looking at it through the same lens. So to get two fresh pair of eyes who haven't played for the club for donkey's years and haven't been around and do ask questions that perhaps we won't think to ask, has sort of brought a real freshness to the committee and taken it in a new direction. Gracie Wines stand up no end in committee meetings, and it's great to watch. But it's all positive. It's all very, very positive, and it's great that it's sort of happened.
It's a good description of it, Duce, and it might not carry on forever. Things do go in circles, whether it's because of the standard of the cricket on the field reflects the people who want to come and watch, who need organising, and then we can get events on. I do believe that things go around in circles. And Gary, I mean, just a couple of examples. If you remember me and you going back, we'd be sorting out, putting the nets up as captains, or rolling the pitch, or having to literally work behind the bar. Now I know you've been up over the last couple of years, Gary, a few times. How do you look at the club now, and was it ever imaginable, do you think, back in our day, that we could see it the way it is?
A bit of a pipe dream, Jez, wasn't it? I think you need a few things to fall into place. Success on the pitch gets you that profile and everything else, and you get the odd big games finals, and you see those packed out, and people might think, oh yeah, I'm going to come down a bit more regular. So if you can get people, if you can get Lowerhouse with a bit more awareness around the town, etc., then that's the talking point, and that's the way in to some extent. I think just that next wave of resource, if you like, from when players do retire and stay loyal to the club and go on the committees and help round the ground. Obviously we lose Phil Astin. Stan takes over the groundworks, and Dave Wren, sadly, and the committee then evolves into a different shape with different people and not different ideas or energy or anything like that, just another wave, and that's, I think, organically how a lot of it's happened. I think the success and the expansion of the teams brings more parents down, and the success, then they want to get involved, and they don't see it as a waste of time. It's something to be proud to be associated with. I think if you could do what we've done over the last 10-15 years, I think all clubs would be doing it. So I think some of it is naturally a happy accident, dare I say. Some of it, obviously, that doesn't diminish the effort people are putting in, because our club would be on its arse again if we didn't have those volunteers and the like. So I think it needs a few things to come together, and it doesn't happen quickly. But I think all credit, the few times I've been up in the last year or two, and a couple of times I messaged Matt Matt Stanley or something afterwards, and just. You can see a difference. I guess when you're maybe down there every week in, week out, but if I come up 2 or 3 times a year, you can still see that difference of maybe it's the tea room, or maybe it's just like the bar area or the ground or the surroundings. Just people, you hear conversations going on, and I don't know some of these people now, but they're obviously involved with the club, and you can hear conversations in the bar about them talking about doing this or organising that, and it's great. It's fantastic to see. It's wish I was a bit closer and see it a bit more often and get involved a bit more. But yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it is, and the socials at weekend, Gracie, through the winter. You've mentioned, yourself about keeping active. Winters, it gets worse as you get older, certainly when you're not playing sport and you can't look forward to your football or to playing or your cricket. So the socials, what were they about? How did that come about during the winter?
I think it started. I think Sam initially said, "Can we try opening on a Sunday?" For the football that we're on, and she'd actually do the bar. So she worked behind bar for first few months, and then they became really successful. So it got to the point where Sam didn't need to work behind the bar. They were able to put the normal bar staff on, and they just seem to be growing strength from strength, going from strength to strength. And I mean, I go down, even even if I just want Guinness Zero, which Stan's taking credit for getting in, by the way, even though I told him to get it. And you're going in and you're seeing different people coming in every Sunday, and that's good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's growing. So I don't know. We've got the Gold Cup coming up, haven't we? The Gold Cup Friday that me and Tony have sorted out. So
I'm going to ask you about that, Grace. So just talk us through what's happening on that day for listeners if they want to come down.
So on Gold Cup Friday, I think it's March 13th. Basically, the club's opening, and we're still not 100% decided how it's going to work, whether we're going to have a fee. There's going to be two options, I think. You can either pay a fixed fee and your beer potentially could be free. Well, not free, you're paying up front, with food as well. Or you can just come down as normal. So for them that like a drink, they might opt for the all-in.
And that's right, it's 13th of March. Cheltenham races that week, and that's the Gold Cup day. So anyone who bit of a loose end and fancies an afternoon watching the racing, and obviously there won't be we can't take any bets there, but we will have some form of a tote or some form of a raffle play spot type things going. So check it till then.
Yeah, and Chris will be open, and Chris and Becky up at the food, so there'll be food on as well, and I think it'll be a very successful day. Quietly away. I once went to one at Burnley, and I bet there were 150 people there.
Yeah, it is. It's it is a busy day, in a lot of pubs. But if we can attract them there, and so going on to Chris and Becky, how they're doing? They're the new caterers at the cricket club.
Yeah, and quietly away, going about a refurb up at the tea room. They're refurbing it inside. They're basically now just waiting for the remainder of the cricket stuff that was in and the chairs for all that to be removed, and then they can really go for it, hell for leather, and get it up and running. And it should be ready for the season. But they're doing a lovely menu. I took home a Sunday roast the other week. That was very nice. And it's affordable. It's the food. It's not silly prices. So they've got that enthusiasm. New business enthusiasm, I'd call it. So it's they're doing well. Boundary Bites, it's called.
Boundary Bites, yeah. So get yourself down there and try out the delights. It takes us back, Gary. I don't think we need to mention any names or anything when we're playing against a quite a successful side, and the chairman and his wife went in the tea room for the tea and cakes and saw a mouse run across the floor, and he reported it to Jack Easy, and he said, I've just been in your tea room and a rat just run right across the floor. And Jack said, I think you might find it's a mouse. We have a nest of them. Anyway, he'll remain nameless. We're going to go on to the draw shortly. But I'll ask Gary and Duce if there's anything else they want to speak to Gracie about. But first of all, Gracie, I just want to touch on a point you mentioned earlier around, people feeling down and people, not leaving the house. We've all been there. We've all had, whether it's, major turmoil in our lives, or sometimes it can be something and nothing. We've had conversations on a few occasions about going down to the club in the summer, even just to have a couple of pints and see some smiling faces. You've a bit of experience of that, haven't you? Can you just describe, how it helped you and, any messages for people who might feel fed up and, and the club could help them?
Well, I went on that course that the club put me forward for, the six connections with Dave Scholes at the Landmark in Burnley.
Yeah.
It was very eye-opening, interesting. But basically, it's all about talking. Just talk to somebody, and it's how can I describe it? It's like if you talk to six people, six people you can talk to about various things, and the idea is them six people then talk to other six people, and basically it's just to get people talking. And I can talk; it doesn't bother me. If somebody asks me, "Am I okay?" I'll say, "No, I feel like crap." Do you know what I mean? I'm down. But there's other people that won't, and I think it's a case of, if you ask somebody, "Are you okay?" and they say, "Yeah, they're okay," and you know damn well they're not, it's up to you then to try and, just try and push them a bit, and get them to talk. And it is a weight off your shoulders when you do talk. And yeah, I don't. You've just got to talk to people. Simple as that. But in relation to me starting going back down to Lowerhouse regularly, I just thought, I'm not having a summer sat at home, just doing nothing. And do you know what I mean? I'll take myself down to the cricket club. And like I say, I met Paul Stanley there, and we had a cracking afternoon that led into the night. And I've never been away since. It's as simple as that. And basically, it's just on the back of, there's always a friendly face there. Do you know what I mean? It is such a welcoming club. And like people always say, are going on about a pint, have a pint together. And unfortunately, sometimes that can be the catalyst for people to go the other way. So, you don't have to have a pint. You can just sit there and chat with other people. There's always somebody there to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's just about talking.
Yeah. It is an important message, Gracie. And, I've got a few little points myself. It's a subject that we don't like, Gary, us males, we don't like talking about it. Is it something you've seen? Is it something that you can endorse?
Fortunately, not personally in that sense. I mean, like I say, we all have us challenges, and we've had some tough times, and thankfully, sometimes you only realise after the event you've had good people around you that maybe have prevented you from getting into a particular state. So yeah, sort of from that point of view, I can associate with that. I think the talking thing is it's a funny one, isn't it? Because if you I mean, not me, but I guess if you've got the world on your shoulders, sometimes talking is the last thing you want to do. So, like you say, the point of other people talking, you don't know what they're going through. So, trying to just have that conversation and eke something out, and encourage them to open up, maybe get involved in something, to, like say, get out and about, hobby, some other interests, whatever it might be. I think it's so important that you do hear sometimes a lot of people saying, "Oh, as soon as I started talking, I had that weight off my shoulder," but they probably weren't going to be the first ones to start that conversation, or open up necessarily. So it does sound like it really, the other people who are okay in inverted commas, we have that onus on us to try and instigate that sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, I always feel and again, look, you don't know it at the time, but going back when I did a lot of football, cricket, golf, and you're sort of out 4 or 5 times a week doing all the sort of sport and stuff, and you've got that social group around you. When you step away from that, I think that's if we're relating it to sort of sport and law ice and that sort of activity, then I guess that sort of friendship group, we all miss the dressing room, and we all miss those times, and we sit on here talking about those stories until we're blue in the face, because they were great memories, great moments, and we were all happy, and we were all, with like-minded people, or just having a great time, etc. So yeah, those changes in circumstances, it might be a job, you might lose a job or move away, or whatever it is. So I think probably what Paul's saying about the conversational element of it is super important, and to look out for it happening. Don't wait necessarily think, "Oh, I'll be okay, it won't happen to me." Is be self-aware and just look out for those things and try and take steps to prevent it happening, not just the reactive element of shit, I am down, what do I do now? So yeah, it's a very common subject.
It is, and as you said, Gary, you've been through so much, and you're strong and you managed it, but people don't realise what could be going on behind that, and long term. I mean, you're quite a bit younger than us, Duce, and I think the younger ones are a little bit more open to chat to each other, I think, but there's still an issue in there, certainly in changing rooms, in sports clubs, of this, you've got to be, it's weak to speak. What's your thoughts on it, and from your generational side?
I think it's bad, a lot of it, isn't it? It's all related to, not wanting to show weakness, which is nonsense, really, when you think about it. But like Gary said, sometimes a change in circumstances can sort of spark that. And, thinking about myself when I packed in playing cricket, then I was desperate to do something else at the club. I didn't want to go away from the club, even though I wasn't going to play anymore. And that's how I've ended up, doing what I'm doing. But there are obviously lots of ways of sort of tackling it. And I think shouting up is the right way to go if you've got the mechanism to be able to do that. Yeah,
it is, and and just to reiterate it, there is other organisations, if anyone is struggling, to give a shout out to, and please just talk, or as Gracie said, I keep saying, come down for a pint, there's friendly faces. On a nice summer's day, there's nothing wrong with just walking right around the ground 2 or 3 times, smiling at people and going home. If that helps people, it is important that that facility is there for them. So, Gracie, I really appreciate.
Sorry, Jed, just before you go off, if you want to come down, you don't have to dig the drains out. I just wanted to point that out. You can come. That Gracie mentioned that, but you don't have to do any hard labour. You can come down and just enjoy yourself. And if you want to do some small tasks, you can, but you don't actually have to dig the drains out. That's not compulsory.
Big shout out to Stubbsy and Roger, by the way. I've missed them out on volunteers. I've probably missed lots and lots of volunteers out, but Roger and Stubbsy are there. We stand every day helping him out.
They're a great team there.
The thing is, they're doing that for their mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, Stan's better for it. So they're like 3 musketeers together.
Yeah,
but they all bounce off one another, but they're good for each other in a mental capacity.
Yeah, they do. They have some, they graft, and the end product is fantastic as the ground and the pitch and the wickets show. But they have good fun doing it. You're listening to those characters. It's like something off a sitcom.
Yeah.
So we will round up at the end, Gracie, and Gary and Duce know this. If there's anything else we want to discuss, but I think we need to look at the draw and join the January numbers. So
before you do the January numbers, Jez, I've got a couple of bits of correspondence that we need to address from the December and November draw.
Right. Okay. Then
first of all, Chris Hasting's been in touch, who won a prize in the last draw. When you were describing him to Joe to try and get him to guess, he said this lad's well into his 50s. He's not happy with you at all. He's 45. He said, if I'm well into my 50s, how old is that silly old duffer? That's what he said. That's his quote, not mine.
Well, Chris, because I know what stitch-up merchants you all are, I'm going to have to go back to the episode and re-listen to it, because I don't think I would have said you're in your 50s. I clearly know.
Well into his 50s, he said.
But you're not. You're looking your early 30s. When we see you, you're a proper dapper lad. So we'll have a look. But if I did say 50s, I apologise profusely. Because obviously I'm in my mid-50s, and I know that you were considerably younger. Your next correspondence, Joe?
The other bit is a bit more serious. It's from the Gambling Commission, and they want an investigation into the Guess the Winner feature from last time around Joe Martin's performance. Apparently, and this is all documented, but apparently he struggled like mad to guess a very, very obvious answer early on, Dave Gardner, and you had to spoon feed him clue after clue after clue. But when it came to some of the more obscure ones towards the back end of the draw, when perhaps you were running out of time, Gene Hay, he got, before you'd even offered him a clue, he managed to get that right. So there's some suggestions that the Guess the Winner feature is not as transparent as what it should be. I don't know if you've got any comments around that, Jez.
You think there's some spot fix betting going on here?
The investigation will reveal all, Gary, but certainly the Joe's performance in the last draw is under severe scrutiny.
Jez Fantino.
All I can really do is to go off the facts and figures. So we've done guess the winner for 11 of the draws, which means there has been, let's have a look, 10 of the 9. So there's been 46 winners. You know, some are the same, but we've guessed them. And Joe Martin has got 31 right, and Joe Beneduce's got 22. So I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of sour grapes here and a little bit of let me throw this hand grenade in because Joe's beating me. But you know, bring it on. If the commission want to come in and question us, then bring it on.
Return King's evidence.
Say again, Gaz.
Return King's evidence.
Yeah, possibly. They wanted to make it clear that the draw itself is not under scrutiny. The draw itself is ring fenced. Yeah. It's purely the guess the winner feature that they're not happy with.
Right. Well, let's see if we can get any more correspondence off them. Have we had anything this month from Drew Peacock, Duce? He seems to be the one that sends you everything.
No, he's gone very quiet. I heard a whisper that he's got some legal troubles, but
correct. Yeah.
I don't know any more on that.
Right. Well, we better not. We can't get involved in any legal matters. So, as you will, all the listeners, you will obviously know by now because he would have been laughing his head off. Joe Martin's not on this call, so we've had to have an emergency regroup about the random number generator, and I've asked Duce if he can sort it. Has it been sorted, Duce?
Yeah. Good to go. Brilliant. Numbers brilliant, between man. 1 and.
Guess it right, don't be a quitter. It's time to play. Guess the winner.
1 and 177.
177.
There are still a few free numbers in here, and I do want to give a couple of shout outs, first of all, before we do it, to Phil Haggerty. Phil's contacted us, and his 2 lads have now joined the draw, Joshua and Jacob. So their number is 109. I believe Joshua's just gone 18, and Jacob's just gone 19. So they can gamble. Again, Sharon Stansfield. She's been in a while, but we're desperate for Sharon to win before Paul does. Lynette Waddington's joined. That's Dave Waddington's missus. So thanks very much, Lynette. Is number 87. Tom Walker keeps threatening to join, but he's yet to set up his standing order. Your number's ready, Tom, when you want to join.
We should target all them young'uns, shouldn't we? They love it.
Not many players in it now, Gracie, but
yeah,
it's not mandatory, but I'm sure you can get on the case.
Yeah, we'll push it. Get them in it.
Yeah, okay. We have and obviously Chippy's joined, number 22. Chris Ashworth, thanks very much, Chris, for joining last year. And Natalie Greaves is number 1. And Chris Ashworth is 20. Another job for you, Gracie. Mark Stewart, the Learned King's Council, he only pays by cash. He refuses to pay by standing order, and he owes. He's behind. He owes. If you can collar him next time, we will still keep his number in for now. But that's a job for you, Gracie.
It's sometimes outside Chippy on Pendle Street.
Yeah, we'll get 60 quid off him for the year.
Oh,
cash is king. Let's go through with 4 prizes this month. First prize 100, second prize 80, third prize 70, and fourth prize 50. So spin your balls then, please, Duce.
First number, I'm sure it's the camera, is 176.
I'm not sure that's taken. No, that's a free number. So we need to draw that again, please, Joe.
A number 123.
1, 2, 3. A top lad. Really, really nice lad. Comes down to the cricket on odd occasions. I'm quite sure that all of you will know him. You can join in, Gracie, if you get an inkling who it is.
All right.
Player, ex-player?
No. Footballer, an ex-footballer who played locally. Like I said, he's a really lovely lad. Really, he's probably Gary's age, maybe a bit younger.
John Stott.
No. I think it's fair to say, and it's no criticism of him and his crowd, he comes down with quite a few people, but it's generally for big games. Well, the Worsley Cup finals, semi-finals, last games of the season. Likes a pint, likes to wander around. I'm led to believe, only because of what I see on social media, that he's quite a big cycler. He likes cycling.
Dirks?
No, a bit older than Dirk. See, I'll throw out a good clue here. Played in the same football team at the same club.
At Belvedere?
Yes.
Dave Bennett?
No. Same era. He was a right back.
Ooh.
Oh,
We're going to go down Gaz Evans route.
No. Gary's on it. I can tell.
Paul Corcoran?
No. Quite big mates of O'Driscoll. Lisa shouted Elmy, but that's not right.
Other Paul Stansfield?
No. Lives with Paul Syke. Goes in the pub with Paul Syke a lot.
Not Daz Smith.
Yes, Darren Smith. Well done, Duce. Well done.
Wow.
How did your time there, Duce?
Didn't want to make it look too obvious for GC.
Yeah. So well done, Darren. 100 quid on its way to you. That was number 123. Next one for £80, please, Joe.
Number 146.
These are big ones.
Is that a clue?
Right, so you're all going to go mental at who this winner is.
It's a member of the Hawke family.
Correct?
Matt.
No. She's a lovely lass.
Lisa.
No.
Di.
Yes, well done, Diane. You've got £80. £80 coming to Die Hope, number 146. Next one for £70, please, Joe.
Number, there we are, 32.
30. Nice and low. All the original members.
Head scratching going on.
Yeah, he's been coming down for a few years. He's not an ex-player. There's a couple of really good clues I could give, but you get it quite quickly. Character, a real character. His family play there. His sons.
Stevenson.
Correct. Well done, Duce. Well done. What is that? 3-0 now. 3-0. Well done, Steve. That's number 32. £80. Sorry, £70. Sorry, Simit. £70. And the fourth and final prize was £50, please, Duce.
Number 28.
28. Right. I don't know about you, Gracie, knowing this lad. You will have heard of him, Duce. Are you possibly played when he used to come and watch us? He used to watch us all over the place. A real character, really lovely fella. Believe it or not, I think he's a touch older than me. He doesn't come down at all now.
He doesn't come down at all now.
No, I haven't seen him for years down there. He get a little bit of interaction on social media. Yeah, he is, Duce. Yeah. I can give you some good clues, some big clues, but you get them. He's the story that Matt tells around a sportsman's dinner, and he left an answer machine message on his mobile because he couldn't make it.
Richard.
Yeah, well done. Richard Hartley. Yeah, described it as Matthew. I've dropped a monumental bollock. Yeah, Richard Hartley, number 28.
I'm double booked.
Yeah.
What other clues were you going to give us for Richard, Jez? I think I could probably guess one.
Ted Whittle brought him down.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot in him. A real character. It's a pity, these people, but I suppose times change, etc. So thanks very much, Duce, for sorting those numbers out. Thanks everyone for continuing to support the raffle, the draw. We are getting more and more people coming in, so keep that going, because we do have 70% of the money is paid out in prizes, and then the rest goes to the club for the junior section, and it really does help. So if you want to join, then get in touch with me or have a look online and you can join. Before I come round to you all for your final comments and points before we finish, I'd just like to give a shout out to Jean Hay, who was very kindly donated her winnings for the last month. I got a message off her son this week saying that asking about the winnings, and Jean, I've only got a landline number for her, and what I generally do is when she wins, I'll ring a landline and say I'm coming round and drop a cheque off. And it was only when her son contacted that I realised I hadn't paid £100 winnings to her earlier last year. So she's actually £200 owed. And when John, her son, spoke to Jean, she wanted to donate both of the prizes to the junior section. In particular, she mentioned Paddy Martin and the All-Stars. So thanks ever so much, Jean. And thanks to your son, John, for sorting it out. that cheque has been sent to the junior section and will be used solely for the All-Stars, the running of the All-Stars. So that's a fantastic gesture.
Brilliant, Gene. Thanks very much for that.
Wonderful
That's great.
gesture.
Gracie, I'll come to you last.
No,
Just for any
okay.
comments before we finish. Gary, any observations? Anything you want to comment on? I mean, you got the last one right, so it's 3-1 in that game.
Yeah. No, nothing more really on that, Jez. But I would just comment before this. I was just catching up with stuff online and on the website, and saw those couple of points around news items on there with the corporate membership stuff with Burnley Leisure, and also the sponsorship logo. I think Adam's looking to sort of get that out and about, news of that. So if people know people who are looking for a bit of sponsorship logos on the kit, training kit, match day kit, I guess, things like that, then it's a quite cheap option looking at it. So looks to be, I don't do a great deal of social media, so obviously a lot of these things often get pushed out to you, but the website is also a good source of info if you don't do heavy socials.
Yeah, brilliant, Gary. Yeah, it is important that, and just think, we are literally getting hundreds and hundreds of spectators now, sometimes thousands on big games. So you're right, it is a good way to promote your businesses, etc. So yeah, be in touch. Duce, anything from yourself?
No, not really. Obviously, it's the end of January now, so we're almost in the home stretch in terms of towards the season. So yeah, just looking forward to getting back down there and watching some cricket.
Yeah, good. It's probably worth me mentioning at this point the turmoil, or a little bit of turmoil between the MD and the cricket manager, Matt Stanley and Stan Eaton. Last week was the rule change meeting from the Lancashire League exec, which all the clubs attend. It went really well, very smoothly. There was only 15 proposals. I think 4 got knocked back, so there's only 11. But apparently, the MD can't get his head around them at all, and Stan's not helping him. So maybe a bit of mediation there from you, Gracie, to get them to understand the simple rules that have been circulated. Gracie,
I must admit, I said it's not really clear, is it? That's Stan. He said, "Well, that's right." I said, so when I see Stan, I'll say it to him. Like I said, I just love throwing hand grenades at Stan just to get him wound up. But can I just go back to what Gary was saying earlier on about over the last 10, 15 years? I think Adam's been a massive, massive part of that with the social media. We're everywhere, aren't we? I mean, these podcasts for one, but we're everywhere now. You can't open a social media post now without Lowerhouse being, one of the first things that you see.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We're out there, aren't we? So anyone actually wanting to sponsor us, we are actually out there.
Yeah.
So we've also got, in a couple of weeks, 3 coachloads of Mansfield fans coming, for the cup tie.
All right. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So sorted that out, and they're looking forward to coming. Just a shame they're not here for an hour earlier, an hour extra. But
that were another one of your ideas that was initially a struggle to get agreed, wasn't it, Paul?
Yes. Well, then the next one was plastic glasses, and I went. So I rings Matthew next day. I said, the plastic glasses that you're all coming out with is flawed. What do you mean? I said, well, you're saying if they're good enough for our members, they're good enough for some Mansfield fans. I said, well, there's 600 fans on here for a T20 and they stood outside. So plastic glasses are appropriate. And you mentioned Burnley Cricket Club. They've got 1,000, 1,500 people drinking. So they're bound to have plastic glasses. These are coming to a room inside in winter. So anyhow, Stan was still against it. And then I said, Stan, it's not right. I said, why not start on glasses? He went, oh, that's a good idea. I'll just have a look. So we're starting on glasses. So, yeah.
It is important. Keep pushing that, Gracie. Keep pushing it. I think sometimes we've got to think of the environment, throwing all this plastic in bins.
Yeah.
And, when there's only 40 of us, and we'll volunteer to wash them up if that's an issue.
Yeah. So it's, you've got to make everything make Stan think it's his idea.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, that really is. So, Gracie, I really appreciate you coming on.
No, I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've enjoyed going through things, with you. And again, let's just reiterate, people just come down if you're just wanting a good day out or just want to get out of the house in the summer. You really will be welcome. So, Gracie, final point from you before we conclude.
You can get fed and watered down at the house and talk. And if you think somebody's not at the best, just try and encourage that conversation.
Brilliant.
Try and encourage a conversation out of them.
Brilliant. That's a good way to end it. Thanks very much, Gracie. Let's
and roll on April.
Exactly. Roll on April. I'm sure we'll be having 2 or 3 podcasts before then to discuss the start of the season, etc. And any updates. So we now have to finish this without me turning it off and losing the recording. Are you on it, Gary?
Am I what? Am I on it?
Are you on it? Am I going to be doing this right, or are you doing it?
You started it, Jez, so you've got to stop the recording.
I don't think I didn't press anything at the start. It was already recording.
Oh my God.
It's saying recording at the top.
Yeah, you must have recorded it.
It's saying start recording at bottom of mine.
Don't do that. I think the key last time, Jez, was everybody bombed off the meeting before it stopped recording. I think that's why it probably ended up getting lost. So make sure you just stop it, and it says we get told, doesn't it, that recording has stopped or whatever before you close the meeting off, before we end the Zoom session.
We'll do it quickly because I've got to go to B&Q.
Up until 9 o'clock.
You leave if you want, Joe, as long as Gary stops it. See, I'm hovering over the...
Still logged in here at tea time.
I'm hovering over the recording and it's not coming up with anything of stop recording.
Well, who started it?
I didn't. It was recording when I came on. You two were already on it.
Yeah, as soon as I joined, it said meeting being
I think Joe
recorded.
did it. Joe did it remotely, maybe.
Possibly.
Stopped, it says on mine.
It does say recording in mine, in top right. It says recording.
Well,
I think we'll be all right, Jess.
And I've clicked down to the bottom where it says record, and it says, please ask the host to give you permission to record. So obviously Joe is the host.
Unless
so you've not logged in as Joe?
I just opened the link on the WhatsApp and it came up like this, already recording.
But I thought the host had to at least start the meeting, didn't he? So do you think Joe did it?
Unless you can do it automatically when you set the meeting up now. But where would it record to?
Do we know what he's doing, Jez? Do you know why he couldn't make it?
No.
I think about giving him a ring.
He's got a meeting with his lawyer, I think. It's going to be
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
We've finished the podcast. Did you set it recording at the start from remotely?
Yeah.
You did, so that's good. It's saying recording in the top right, but none of us know how to turn it off, and we daren't leave in case it's not safe.
Okay. Right, bear with me.
Are you out running?
Pardon? No, I've just got back. Where? Bear with me 1 second.
Well, you're a star. We're all panicking like mad here and don't leave. Joe's got a roof to fix. Yeah, Joe Beneduce. Yeah, I can't believe it either.
It's going to carry on leaking. Double skin it, Joe, just for safety.
No, he isn't. He's proper. My brother was the original Dick Fingers, and he's Dick Fingers too, Joe.
Ask him, does he need a hand? I'm not doing anything. I was equally as useless.
Can you hear that, dude? Joe Martin coming out?
Well, whenever you're ready, Joe.
Okay, grand. Right.
You didn't sound right enthusiastic, Joe, there. That's Joe Beneduce.
Oh, yeah, massively helpful. Massively grateful for his help, even though he'll be next to useless like me.
He'll be slight, though. He'll be able to get along that
Oh,
ridge.
that's right. Yeah, he could probably tiptoe across the roof and do the far side.
Right. Okay.
How big is it, this roof?
Need to join him.
In fact, Gracie, you're only round the corner from me. You should have volunteered to help me, really.
I'm going Rottenstall. I've been Jim, and I'm going Rottenstall now. With lads this afternoon.
What's Gracie been on?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Disappointed you're not here, Joseph, to help me through.
Yeah. Well, they didn't tell me you were coming on.
They will have done.
You'd pick and choose, would you?
I didn't know you had a guest on.
Yeah, I didn't want to go overboard with it. I didn't want Matt Stanley to carbosh it. Oh, you're coming on.
We're finished now, Joe. We're after going.
I know.
I'll turn you off the phone.
He just wants a credit.
Okay. What's credit?
Send more house to save the house.